Let's turn to page 386, which is our lesson 10 practice, and I'd like to look at question 2. So before we do the 3 problems in question 2, I'd also like to add another question to this. And I'd like us to show the triangles similar. So we'll call that, I don't know, we'll call that D, but we're going to do that first. So in this picture, if these were the problems I had given, I would want to look carefully at my diagram. This diagram gives me all 3 angles and all 3 sides. However, this diagram gives me only 2 sides and the angle included, and notice a 60-degree angle. So I would start thinking that maybe these 2 triangles could be showed similar by side angle side similarity theorem. So looking at the little one, I need to use the 60-degree angle, and I need to use either side on the 2 sides on either side of it, which is the 7.5 and the 12.7. So to show this similar by side angle side similarity theorem, I need to set up 2 ratios of the sides, and I need to show one angle is congruent. So my first step is I need to match up my sides. Now I'm unsure of, just looking at this, which side I should put the 7.5 with. It should go with the 25 or the 15. So let's compare my 2 numbers. 7.5 is smaller than 12.7. So this one is bigger. So now I look at 25 and 15. This number is the bigger number. This number is the smaller number of the 2. So I know that I'm going to put the 7.5 with the 15 and the 12.7 with the 25.4. It doesn't matter which number I put on top or which number on either one of these, but once I start it, I have to do the second one the same way. So I'm going to use the 7.5 on top and up the 15 on the bottom. And if you divide those on your calculator, you're going to get 0.5 for your answer. Next, I'm going to then have to do the 12.7 on top over the 25.4. And I also get a 0.5 when I divide those on my calculator. So this is me showing the 2 sides in proportion. If you would have flipped it the other way, you then would have had a 2 here and a 2 here, and you're still showing 2 sides in proportion. So then I also have to point out that my angle A is congruent to my angle D. They're both 60 degrees. So therefore, triangle ABC, I could say the letters in any order I want. But now that I've said that, I have to say this in a matching order. So if I'm going to say A, B, C, going across that smaller side, I need to say D, F, E. So D, F, E. They're similar by side, angle, side, similarity theorem. So notice what I have here. I showed 2 sides in proportion. I'm going to abbreviate that. And I showed the included angles were congruent. So that's the 2 parts of the side angle side similarity theorem. Now that I've done that, now that I know that these 2 triangles are similar, it's easy to answer these questions. So if I want to find side EF, I need to write a proportion that allows me to solve for EF. There's 2 of them. They both work. It doesn't matter which one I use. I could use the 7.5 over 15, or I could use the 12.7 over the 25.4, or I could flip them and put the bigger number on top. That part doesn't matter. So I'm going to just start with the 7.5 over 15, and I'm going to set it equal to. So now I'd like to use my third side. That's my 11.1. It's going to go with this side EF that I don't know. So I'm going to write 11.1 on top because I wrote the 7.5 on top over EF. And you could write X if you'd rather. So now that I've set up my proportion, I'm going to cross multiply, and I get 7.5 times EF. Doesn't really matter which side you write them on. And 15 times 11.1. 15 times 11.1 is 166.5. I'm now going to divide both sides by 7.5. And I get 22.2. So I know that EF is 22.2 units. Find the measure of angle E. Well, the measure of angle E is up here, and I know E goes to C, so the measure of angle E would be 36 degrees. We'll label them so they look different. So the measure of angle E is equal to 36 degrees. And you can do part C for your homework right there. I just wanted to take a moment and show you that if on A, if you would have chose to use the 12.7 and the 25.4 as your two known sides, just to show you this work from my key. Right here, if I set up the 12.7 over 25.4 and then again use the 11.1 over EF, keeping in mind that I could flip these easily. That part doesn't matter. But I get different numbers in my work, but I end up with 22.2 for my EF in length. Thank you very much.